By 1942, the capital city had become a place of smoke, sirens, and hurried footsteps. Buildings leaned like tired giants, their windows shattered, their walls scarred by fire. And yet, in a narrow side street, still standing against the chaos, there was a small photography studio called Harrington Portraits. Inside worked Rose Harrington, a young photographer whose hands were steady even when the world shook around her. Before the war, families came to her studio for portraits, smiling beneath bright lamps. Now she mostly photographed soldiers before they left for the front. Smiles too forced, eyes too young, goodbyes too heavy. One rainy morning, as she was cleaning soot from her camera lens, the studio door opened. A tall soldier stepped inside, carrying a uniform damp from the storm. His name was Captain Julian Marks. He had kind eyes, but carried himself like a man who had seen too much. "I heard you still take photographs," he said quietly. Rose nodded. "Of course. What kind would you like?" He hesitated before answering, "One I can carry with me. Something to remind me of home, when home feels very far away." Rose lifted her camera. "Then let's make it one worth remembering." Julian sat for the portrait, trying to smile, but his expression wavered. "You don't have to pretend," Rose said softly. He exhaled. "No one's ever told me that." After the photograph was taken, he lingered, studying the old studio walls filled with faded portraits. "Do you ever get used to this? The emptiness?" Rose shook her head. "But I've learned that even in ruins, people still want their stories remembered." Days passed. Julian returned whenever he could, sometimes to bring her scraps of chocolate, sometimes to fix a broken shutter, sometimes simply to hear the click of her camera, which he said sounded like hope. He told her about the sky on the battlefield, the strange stillness before an explosion, the letters he once wrote to no one because he feared no one waited for him. Rose told him about her father, who taught her that every photograph is a heartbeat captured in light. War pulled at them, tightening its grip. One night, air raids tore through the city. Rose rushed to her studio at dawn and found it half destroyed. Windows blown out, walls cracked, ashes everywhere. She sank to her knees. The portraits, all those captured memories, were buried beneath debris. Then she saw it. A single photograph lying in the ashes, edges burned but image intact. Julian's portrait. She lifted it with trembling hands. As she stood in the ruins of her life's work, tears streaking her slit-covered face, footsteps echoed behind her. She turned. Julian stood there, injured, arm in a sling, face pale but alive. "I heard the studio was hit. I ran here as soon as I could." Rose held up his photograph. "This was waiting for you." Julian stepped closer, brushing ash from her cheek. "I came for something else, too. I came back for you." The ruined studio around them was silent, but for a moment, it felt whole again. As dawn light spilled through shattered glass, Rose leaned into his embrace, the photograph pressed between them. Proof that even in fire and ruin, some memories refuse to burn.